Have you ever had a moment where your whole body, your soul is screaming from the inside, but you just ignored it? Maybe in a job, in a relationship, or maybe even a simple decision where you were supposed to say no, but you felt obligated to say yes. The truth is, most of us are constantly drowning into external noise, always thinking about the opinions of others, making our decisions based on the validation of others. But what happens when you actually start listening to yourself? And what does it mean to listen to yourself? What is the self? Today, in this video, I will go deep into this, into understanding your intuition, the science of intuition, and how you can actually listen to yourself. I used to be a person who was always looking for love from the outside, from other people. And the more I looked outside, I felt lost. And it wasn't until I actually lost everything. I lost my job, I lost my relationship, I lost my health, all the motivation. I hit the rock bottom right before lockdown 2020. That's when I actually got time to reflect and listen to myself. I was listening to the body, to the mind, and I was seeing these things that didn't feel right. I could feel there is tension in my shoulders, my digestion was bad, and I was constantly ignoring that. That was leading to more and more problems. But when I actually learned to listen to the body, to the emotions, to the feelings, things started to flow effortlessly. But after going deep into it, it's not something that happens automatically. There is, I think, until we don't know, we call it God, we call it miracle, we call it whatever we want to call it. But the day we can understand it, the day we know that that's how it works, we call it science. So there is a science behind intuition as well. Sometimes we think that our intuition is guiding, but intuition is nothing, is your subconscious mind. Whatever you have put into the subconscious mind, that is creating a form of ego or identity of its own, which is guiding you. So sometimes your intuition will not work if you are not connected to your subconscious mind, because then your conscious mind is just making up things which are actually based on deep conditioning of the subconscious mind. But when you actually learn this thing, which psychologists call this interoception, is the ability to sense what is happening inside the body, the hunger, the heartbeat, the blood running through your veins. When you become more and more aware of the physical body, you slowly get deeper and deeper and also connect with your subconscious mind. But the question is, if everything is happening within us, why are we constantly ignoring what's happening inside the body? Why are we falling into the patterns of the mind? And that comes from the conditioning. Whatever environment you're grown up in, whatever your senses, it starts from your five senses. So since your childhood, whatever your five senses are taking in, there is a storage in the mind. Everything is getting stored somewhere. We're just not accessing it consciously, but it's all there in your subconscious mind. And when you lose connection with your subconscious mind, then you work automatically. When you see a situation and there is a response feeded in your subconscious mind and you react, you're not responding, you are reacting. But the truth is, we are not living in the past. We're living in the now and creating our future at the same time. So if you actually want to be free from your own habits, own patterns, own emotions, and you want to stop attracting the same kind of situations, then you have to learn to break the pattern of your own reaction, which is coming from your subconscious mind. So first you have to break the physical pattern, like what time you wake up, how you eat, what you eat, how you move your body. When you do that, you're breaking the pattern of your physical body. You will start to become aware of your physical body. So you have to take care of your food, your movement, and that is what also comes into a yogic life. When you're doing asana, when you're doing different asana, with every asana you're breaking the pattern of your own body. Like when you go to gym or when you go to in certain places, what they tell you, do the same thing again and again. But there are so many asana. When you perform those asanas, every time you are becoming aware of a different kind of attachment, different kind of a thing in your body that is holding you back. The second, when you're doing pranayama techniques, you're breaking the pattern. You are breathing from the left nostril, right nostril, you're holding the breath, you're inhaling faster, you're exhaling slow, you're doing different pranayama techniques to actually reach to the level where the mind and your breath become harmonious. The body and the breath and the mind, they become harmonious. You are always aware of them and they are working for you instead of against you. So that's how, using some yogic practices, you can break the pattern of your own self. You don't need anyone else outside of this. It's all in your hand. You just need to first break your own patterns before going out in the world and trying to figure out, how do I do this? Don't challenge yourself against other people, against your family members, against your friends. Just come back to yourself. Take your own time. Every day, create some practices that helps you break your own patterns. When you learn to break your patterns consciously, then you will have a window, a chance to connect to deeper parts of the brain. That's when you go into pratyahara, when you pull your senses from outside to inside, you go into your mind. That's when you're also preparing yourself for meditation. You don't straight away go to meditation. A lot of people can do that, but that meditation does not last because their body has its own pattern, their breathing have its own pattern, their mind have its own pattern, and they're not able to break out of them, which stops the mind from going into deeper states of meditation. So that will also stop you from listening to yourself. And what actually happens when you start listening to yourself? When you break the pattern, you become aware of your own patterns, and you become so aware and conscious, and you're listening from the deepest part of yourself, which is not your conditioned self. What happens then? Well, when you start listening to yourself, life changes in ways you never expected. You stop living in confusion. You stop following paths that don't align with you. You start feeling home in your own decisions. You start feeling confident about every step that you take, because now you're connected to your unconditioned self, to your authentic self, which is not taking decisions based on what happens in the past, what someone has did to you, not based on your memory and your experiences, based on this present moment. You can even practice it right now. Take a deep breath. Take few deep breaths with me. Now, without creating any judgment for the outside, try to pull your awareness in and ask yourself, what is your inner voice truly trying to tell you? Not the thoughts. This intelligence is a little bit beyond your thoughts. So just dissolve. Don't try to listen to it. Just become still. Now you may or may not be able to, it does not come in words, it comes in a feeling. And that feeling can take time. But when you sit every day, when you do things every day, when you break the patterns, you practice something, and you get out of your own mind, you get out of your own ego and attitude, your own way of life, that's when you can expect that your intuition, your soul will start connecting to yourself and speak. Then you will speak the truth. Like, you will be able to see that you cannot lie anymore. You cannot do people pleasing. You cannot say yes to the things that you know are not right in this moment. That is how listening to yourself can actually transform your life. But listening to yourself is not just a one-day journey. It's a journey that requires a lot of cleansing, a lot of detachment, a lot of self-reflection with some yogic practices, which has been my experience. Hope this helps. And if any of this connected with you, and if you have ever had this moment where you listened to yourself and something changed in your life, then do not forget to share your experience in the comments. I would love to read. I would love to see where you are in your journey. Hari Om. That's it.